So, the beginning of the Enlightenment movements of the 60s, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Probably was sparred off by everybody being turned on to LSD and a bunch of other meditations and things from the East that
Like
came over.
like yoga.
Yoga came actually through Yogananda, and yeah, he was in the 50s, so that was the earlier part. Um, and for me, it was
And your name is Jeffrey
Jeffrey J. Rainbow Being.
J. Rainbow Bean. Awesome.
The reason why you call yourself a rainbow being, because when you lighten up all the chakras, when all the chakras get in your body together, the chakras start at red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So when you have all your chakras together, you become a rainbow being.
That makes more sense because I thought you said bean at first, like
Being,
a red bean.
no, being, rainbow being.
Yes, that makes complete sense.
So I guess the thing is, what caused that to happen? Spirit just ignited it within us,
Yeah.
and it started that whole movement. And people didn't, I think with the war, they didn't want to be drafted, and that was the big thing. That's why so many people came out for the protest of the peace, because they didn't want to be drafted.
Yeah.
You were being forced to go to war.
Right.
And then we broke that up with all the people demonstrating, being against that. And so it's just a wave of wanting truth, wanting to know where we came from, what's going on. And that kind of spurred us all off. But then I noticed by the 70s and the 80s, because the pendulum moved so far one way, it was like the other force had to come back, so it knocked us back. And
Materialism.
Like materialism and like punk rock, and everybody became really hard and negative. So it was like now it wasn't the peaceful movement.
Yeah.
It became the hard, like we're going to go back and just fight as hard as we can.
Yeah.
But I have to say too, also in this peaceful movement, we also we were infiltrated by the Palladians and other extraterrestrials who came down and
Right.
were sending us a lot of vibrations.
Yeah.
That changed just again, and so again, we just kept going through the times. Now we're like 40 years later, and we have a pandemic that happens and puts people into this whole tizzy. It kind of stops the whole world. And we're like, no, we don't want to fucking die. We don't want to be kept in prisons. We don't want to be on the Zoom tubes. And so now this is the rebirth again that we're feeling right now, where everybody's coming out and everybody wants to be touching each other. We want to be human beings. We want to like love each other and hold each other. We don't want to be in a computer screen. Like, only see each other through computer screens. And so.
And the best way to get out of that bubble of like always being on a screen is to get outside in nature. Like places like this, like the Four Quarters.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just other groups of people, even in your own little communities, getting together, having song circles, and just coming back out and meeting each other, not being afraid. Fear is a big thing.
Yeah.
So.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Yeah.
And having a peaceful place like this where you can actually trust people, where you can feel that connection and not be that concerned about all the social stigmas and what are people going to think of me, and all that kind of just starts to fall away when you're in a place like this, because I think it's more accepting and you're all kind of on the same general vibe for the most part,
Well, yeah, this Four Quarters is interfaith, so it's all kinds of faiths. It doesn't really matter what you believe in, as long as we have a basic of good kindness to each other.
Yeah, respect and kindness. Yeah.
Which is good. So with that, and then myself personally, I spent my life doing lots of plant medicines and lots of psychedelics, and then also balancing it with meditation. I do have a really good meditation practice, and I work on balancing and aligning my body on a daily basis. So
yeah, I can definitely tell you have a very strong energetic field and you're very balanced and connected.
Because this takes work. You have to do that every day to clear the shit out. So it's a lot of clearing, a lot of past life karma, and since I spent most of my life doing that, my body at this stage, I feel comfortable with
right.
myself.
Yeah, like I connect every day with the crystalline grids above and below the earth and the crystalline core of Gaia.
So do I.
Yeah. So that's one of my practices that I started years ago.
Yeah, which
And
makes
that
us alive.
and that always helps because sometimes you'll find that you started to disconnect a little bit. You're a little, and then you have to go back and connect again. So it's not like a one-time thing. Like I think people think it's like you do one class or one initiation and then all of a sudden you're enlightened and everything's great. You know, it's like, no, you got to keep going, right?
It's layers upon layers of
Right.
cleaning yourself out.
And then sometimes you even sink down, you might regress a little bit and feel like you're not making it where you should be or like you're going backwards, but then really you gotta continue. Well, thank you for the interview. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Peace.